Good morning, everybody. MG here. MGCovers bringing you a brand new sports handicapping video. Title of this video, The Cheat Code for Sports Betting Revealed. Not clickbait. There is a cheat code in this business, and super excited to bring you that. As always, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, greatly appreciate you subscribing to the channel. There is a ton of content on this channel. If you want to learn sports handicapping, you want to improve your sports handicapping, if you subscribe to the channel, watch the videos, you will drastically improve. If you follow me on social media, a ton of value, and follow me on social, it's MGCovers, covers spelled with a Z. You can click the link in the description box of this video and it will take you right to there. Sometimes I give out free plays, things I see in the sports betting marketplace. I'll post on Instagram, so you get a lot of value simply by following me on social. Okay, so let's dive into this. What is the cheat code for sports betting? And if you follow me for long enough, you probably already know what that is, but I think this is going to be a very informative video because I'm going to take my time to thoroughly explain this so that you can sort of see it from a light bulb moment. We always talk about those light bulb moments. Oh, okay, I understand it completely now. So that's why I'm going to take longer to explain this so that you can really absorb this and understand it. So first thing we're going to do before I talk about what the secret is, we need to understand numbers. Now, one thing that's very attractive for me for sports handicapping, sports betting, it's a numbers-based business. The numbers don't lie, so you can't make anything up. The numbers are what they are. It's not going to change. So it's a math-based business. So the number that we're all familiar with is this minus 110. And out beside that, you see this number 52.4%. So what that means is if you average minus 110 wagers, which is the common amount of juice you pay on a spread line, you have to hit 52.4% of your wagers to break even. Okay? So in order to turn a profit, you probably need to be closer to 55%, assuming that all of your wagers, you're averaging minus 110 juice. And if you don't know this already, 55% in sports betting, that's a very difficult number to obtain. Extremely, extremely difficult number to obtain. So if you see somebody that's posting, they're 70%, even through, say, 50 games or 100 games, it's fabricated. It's not true. In fact, I think sportsinsights.com posted something. It's called the Z ratio. If you want to Google that, the odds of hitting 70% over 1,000 games, the odds of doing that is 1 in 1 trillion. So it's basically near impossible, and pretty much near impossible to hit 60% over, say, a span of 100 games. So 55%, is generally associated with somebody that's very good, but I'll tell you right now, that's very, very difficult to hit 55%. So the cheat code for sports betting revealed is to play money line dogs in all sports. I'm going to repeat that: play money line dogs in all sports, because when you do that, that's going to take your win percentage down tremendously to the point to where you can be profitable, but you don't have to hit 52%. You don't have to cash 55%. So we're going to dive over here to this is my NHL betting log from the model. So this is a 100% plug and play model, and you're looking at the log from January 1st all the way up until yesterday. Okay. Now this is important because this is going to bring in some what's the word I'm looking for? Some preconceived opinions, thoughts, etc. about sports betting with regards to those win percentages I just mentioned, because generally we associate, hey, this guy's a good handicapper, he's hitting 55%. To be successful in sports handicapping, you have to hit 55%. That's not true. So this is the win-loss record of the NHL model year to date. 142 wins, 186 losses, right? So you say to yourself, well, that's not good, right? In fact, I'll go ahead and tell you, if you don't want to calculate it, that's the win percentage of the model, 43%. Now, based on what I just showed you earlier, you're thinking, man, if it's 43%, if this model's hitting 43%, like you have a tendency to think, what? Hey, this model is not very good because we have these stigmatisms associated with being successful in this business, hitting 55%, breaking even at 52%. Okay. Now, this is going to blow you away. And let me explain this first, because I'm going to show you what this is units over here. Because I think this is important, because this is another problem in our industry is people lack education and understanding. One game is one unit. What I mean by that, look at this Carolina game here. It's one. That's the money line, plus 155. If we win this game, the most we can win is 1.55 units. Does that make sense? All right, it's the same deal up here. Look at this one. There was juice in this game, minus 112. If you win that one, you only win 1 unit. So the max you can win on a spread on a game is 1 game equals 1 unit. And the reason I mention that, you'll hear people throw around terms like, you'll hear, I guess, wannabe handicappers, for lack of a better word, will say things like, yeah, we're up 25 units in 3 days. That's not true. Okay. So 1 game is 1 unit. And the reason I do that is just so you can compare apples to apples, oranges to oranges. So anyway, so the model is hitting 43%. And we would think like, hey, that's not very good, right? Well, let's take a look at how many units it's up. It's up 28.57 units year to date. And that's you're only talking a little over, well, you factor in February is a short month. You basically about, 60 days. So ton of success. Now we're going to talk about why the model is so profitable. Now, so if it's hitting 43%, right? So let's go over here and take a look at our chart again. So if it's hitting 43%, that means if we average plus 135 money lines and we hit 43%, we're going to break even. So more than likely for us to have, if we're hitting 43% and it's up almost 30 units, that means the majority of money lines we are playing are up here. Okay. And so let me talk about why this is. So let's just take a look we're going to look at yesterday. So the model plays for Carolina plus 155 puck line, Philadelphia puck line plus 210, Montreal plus 222, Arizona plus 275, and Colorado plus 165. Now watch this. Carolina wins up 1.55 units. Philadelphia wins on the puck line up 2.1 units. Now look what happens to the next 3 games. Lose Montreal, lose Arizona, lose Colorado. All right, so we win 2 and we lose 3. So we've had a total of 5 games played and we won 2. So 2 divided by 5. So we only hit 40%. Right? 1, 2, lost 3. But what was the profit? Look at the profit, 0.65 units. So just for simplification, if you wager $100 on all these plays, you'd have won $65, but you would only hit 40% of those. So the sports bet, and the reason we're able to do that is, again, playing money line dogs, because in my opinion, well, it's not opinion, it's basically almost close to a fact. You can have a lower win percentage. It's easier to have a lower win percentage playing money line dogs and profit than it is to try to hit 55% playing majority of juice lines, spread lines, or minus 110 lines, right? So, and let's take a look. Let me show you what happens when the model has a huge day. This was from Saturday, and I'm not going to go through all these games, but you can see here it went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it went 7 and 4, playing all dogs with the exception of this Colorado game. And look at the profit in just one day going 7 and 4. It was up 5.89 units. And it went 7 and 4. And if you play traditional spreads, like let's say these were all spread games. So you're playing minus 110 juice, so you'd win 7 and you would lose 4. So you would net out basically 3 units, right? And then you have to factor in the juice on 4 of those, so that would be 0.4. So then you'd end up netting out 2.6 units. Right? So the sports betting secret revealed is playing money line dogs. And you said, well, that's NHL. What about other sports? You can do it for any sport. It's true for any sport. Look at this is from NBA yesterday, and look at the money line dogs that cashed. Indiana plus 163, LA Lakers plus 163, Portland plus 120, New York Knicks plus 218. Now, granted, majority of the time you're going to have the favorites. Obviously in NBA, favorites win, not all the time, but slightly more than the dogs. But still, going back to, if you look at this log, again, if you're playing majority underdogs, low win percentage, you can still turn a profit. Let me show you another example from soccer. And this is something that I'm going to start doing with soccer. Really no need to play any juice in soccer whatsoever, because you have dogs cash like all the time. I'm going to come back to soccer. I don't want to miss this point, and I just remember this. Let me tell you another reason why this works with NHL, and this goes back to a statistical property for NHL. Now, this is applicable to MLB as well, and MLB, Major League Baseball season's around the corner. Favorites win 60% of the time in NHL. Okay, that's very important. Underdogs win 40%. So the way we're able to capture both of these is that when a favorite wins, somewhere around 45% of the time, they're also winning on that puck line. So that's why you see, if you see this X over here, these are puck line plays. That means they got to win by more than one. Win, 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 loss, loss, win, win, loss. So you can see that's probably right at 50%, maybe a little bit better than that, but probably long term it's just under 50%. But again, when you're playing, plus 142, plus 155, plus 190, it makes it a lot easier to turn a profit. So I wanted to make that point. So really the secret and the approach I'm going to do with MLB season this year, that's the way to play it. You're going to play favorites on the run line. And of course, dogs are going to cash about 40% of the time. So you incorporate those as well. And you're basically using the statistical property to your advantage. And if you don't know what statistical properties are, those are basically facts about that sport. For example, in NFL, a statistical property of the NFL is that underdogs cover more than favorites. So an underdog will win more times than a favorite will win. And then of the teams that win in NFL, of the teams that cover in NFL, they also win outright 80% of the time. Another reason to play moneyline dogs in NFL. All right, so we're going to look at power rankings yesterday for soccer. Liverpool was minus 600, Manchester minus 214, so basically a 50-50 game. Liverpool's a home team, so home teams win more often than the draw line and the away team in soccer. And boom, Liverpool wins plus 146. All right, let's scroll down here and take a look at another one. AS Roma Juventus, again, 50-50 game. Both teams were favorites via my line. AS Roma minus 367, Juventus minus 320. Same example. AS Roma home team. Home teams win more often than the draw and the away team, and they win at plus 193. So you have plus 146, plus 193. So we come over here. Let's write that down. So 146 and 193. So we win both of them. Now, what happens if you lose this one? So you would lose 100, and then you would still net out 0.93 units, right? Or how about this example? Let's say that first match lost, right? You won the plus 193, and your next wager lost. Now watch this. So you would go 1 and 2, and on $100 only be down $7. So going 1 and 2, which is basically 33%, you're basically at even. And that, again, that's another reason that it's not talked about. It's like all these losses, you go back to this NHL log, all these losses, well, with the exception of that one, you're not paying any juice. So like if you're playing say a minus 134 line or a minus 151 line, you lose a game and it's a minus 150 line, you're losing minus 1.51 units. So in order, let me write it down so you can see it. I think sometimes it's better. So that's the money line. You lose that game, you're down minus 1.51 units. So you win the next one, you're still in the hole. You win the next one, now you're profitable. But what's the win percentage there? 67% in order to turn a profit after that minus 151 line. So again, I can't stress this enough, is that really going back to the premise of this video, the secret in our business, you got to play money line dogs, and you got to play money line dogs in all sports. Because what's the alternative? The alternative is you need to be at about 55% win percentage. And if you've done this business even 30 days, if you're brand new and you've started wagering for 30 days, you realize that's a very, 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 very difficult number to sustain, not only for 1 month, for long term. So my approach to this business has always been playing money line dogs. And it's just easier to do. I don't have I'll show you the numbers right there, right? So you can hit 43% and turn a really nice profit. Or you can try to play all spreads and hit close to 55%. And in my opinion, much easier to play money line dogs, hit 43%, than it is to play majority of juice and hit 55%. So that is the cheat code for sports betting. If you want access to this model you see right here, this is a very easy model. There's no handicapping involved. It's basically a plug and play model, which means once you have access to it, you'll know how to do it. I could teach it to a 5-year-old. $49.95 per month. You get access to my power rankings for all sports. You get access to all the coaching videos on the site. If you want access to all my plays for all sports, that's $100 a month. The best value, you can join for an entire year, $4.99. You save about $600 off the year. So you get access to everything on the site, all the videos, all the power rankings for 1 year for $4.99. Hope you like this video. Like it. If you do, subscribe to the channel, and talk to you guys soon. Peace.